What's up, y'all? This is Glizzy and this Barberson TV, and today we got the Juice story. Juice is one of my best friends. I'm going to explain this to you, and I'm going to explain it to you the best way I can, because it's like, I be trying to get into these stories without them being incriminating and trying to be able to be good stories. So, alright, my man Juice. Juice moved to the neighborhood. He used to come on the weekends. His father lived out Maryland. His father lived in like Forestville, so he used to just come to my neighborhood on the weekend. But his mother lived across the street in another building, in 1430 building, and I lived in 1011. The buildings face each other like this. I come out my front door, and I can see the front of his building right across the street from each other. It's like two buildings on the side of it, on each side of the street. This building across the street and this building. So all us, it's the same thing, same exact thing, just a different building. They all been run by the same management. So we hang out. I'm popular in the neighborhood, so he comes to the neighborhood. This is my Maryland friend. He don't know nothing. He don't really know nothing too much. He in the streets, like Maryland-wise, like he young. I couldn't really say like he in the streets, like he not steal cars. He just ain't not steal cars. He a good car thief. Like he a great car thief. He know how to drive and all that. He probably like 12 years old at the time. I'm probably already 15. So he just attracted to me, and I took him in. And then over the years, you know how the streets just turn you out. Like, he just got so turned out into the streets. But I'm just going to tell y'all the good part of his legacy. Because he got on drugs, and, like, drugs interfered with his life. He passed away at the end of this story. At the end of this story, Juice ended up getting killed. Somebody ended up, I don't really know what the story was, but Juice passed away from gun violence. Long live my boy, man. This story crazy. But I'm gonna give y'all a good story. It's like, all right, one day we was in the house. Juice had like a revolver. Just had like a 38. No, I had a 30. One of us had a 38. And we was playing with the 38. No, matter of fact, it was my man Vito 38. He let us keep it because we got into something in the neighborhood. I kept it in my house, but Juice take it with him from time to time. So Juice must have had it one night, and he learned how to decock it, like pull the pin back on it and fire it without it going off. But it's like he was geeking to show me, like, so bad that he learned this new trick with the gun. I'm like, bro, why you even want to learn it? So long story short, we in the living room. He like, man, go get the dog. I'm like, all right, get it to him. So now he like, man, I know I decock it. I know I do it without. I'm like, nah, bro, don't do that, bro. I don't even care, bro. Don't do that. Forget it. I'm like, Juice, I don't care. He like, man, just look, bro. You always. I'm like, nah, I swear, as I was saying that joint went boom. In the middle of the living room. We're in the middle of my mother's house in the living room. Ain't nobody in it, just me and Juice. Nobody in there. This is the craziest moment ever. My mother out at the grocery store. I swear he could have did this at any time. This was God. In the midst of that gun going off, my mother was walking up the steps with groceries. My mother ain't hear that gunshot. We all hear that gunshot. My mother just walked in the door and said, well, I smell like fireworks in here. It smelled like firecrackers in there. Like, I'm talking about, like, she probably had, it was a 2-minute window from the shot, and then we couldn't even, like, we had to push. It was like it hit the wall. The bullet hit the wall. Like the bullet, he was so scared. Juice walked out. I don't know what Juice did, but Juice was so annoyed. He dropped the gun and just walked off. So I picked the gun up, and like once we came to our conclusion that the gun went off, and my mother was coming up the steps, because he opened the door. He lived across the hall from me. All right, this I gotta go back from me. Wind the story. Over the years, Juice lived across the street from me. Juice, something happened in the building that Juice ended up getting an apartment, and they pinned up. Somebody moved out my building. They moved Juice right next door to me. I live in 32. He live in 31. He right across the hall. Like he my next door hallway. Our balconies touch. I climb over his balcony. I can go in his room if I want to. Our balconies touch. Like his house is my house. It's just the only thing connecting our house is a wall. So now I think he about to run over his house. I don't know why he about to run over his house. I don't know. Like the gun went off. I just told him like, don't do it. He did it. He couldn't even sit right there and take the consequences of what I was about to say to him. But I heard my mother coming up the steps, so he ran. So it's when he was leaving out to go in his house, trying to run away from me. I don't know if he's running away from me or not. It was weird. Like the gun went off, bow. He was just out of there. Like I don't know what that was weird. That was weird. And I think about it. But as he opened the door, he heard somebody come to the steps, and as somebody come to the steps, that was my mother. So he went back and I was at the door. He said, "Your mother come upstairs." I said, "Oh." So now we pushing the bullet hit the wall. So now the wall, the what's that? The drywall on the ground, it smelled like gunpowder. We can't fix the gunpowder smell. We got 1 minute. Bob will come to the steps. We hit feet. We pushed all the fragments behind the door. Juice. I opened the door. Juice. So now when we open the door, If you open the door be on the back of the wall. So the door on the back of the wall, you can't see the bullet hole because the bullet hole right behind the door. Like when you open the door, because he was doing it in the living room. I'm sitting on the couch behind the door. So now once the door, my mother looking right, but she said it smelled like gunpowder, so we looking weird. My mother had some extra bags in the car. She only brought up a little bit. She needed some help. So as she going back down, I said, all right, I'm about to send you somebody to put my shoes on. And then my mother let back out. I said, man, you go do it. I'm going to try to get it together. And I'm fixing the house up. I'm spraying all that. Like, bro, it was the weirdest shit ever. So now me and Juice ain't talk about it. My mother get the groceries. The day go on. Juice stepped off. I probably had to help my mother with the groceries. I ain't seen Juice to curse him out about this gun going off or nothing. When I seen him, it was fireworks. I let him have it. But he was so nervous from the pressure of him shooting that gun. He know he was embarrassed that I told him not to do it. He did it. It was like, he just took it in, but we never got in trouble. One thing about Juice, he got a great heart. He loved me like no other person in this world. Like he probably my biggest fan, like my biggest supporter, my biggest everything. Only thing separated us was the drugs. But I give y'all part 2 to this story. We can get Juice a 3-part series. Juice was the GOAT, bro. I'm telling y'all, I got another story. I'm gonna put 2 and 2. I'm gonna give y'all one more because I'm gonna make this a series. Juice got endless stories. Juice get high now and over the years. He grew up, so now he getting high. He a big boy. He getting high. He off the perks. He off the whatever the world got to offer. He just getting high. He in the streets like gone. And he separated from me now. Juice got a deuce 5. He was broke. He was trying to get high. So it was like some 12-year-olds, like a 12-year-old and the guys and like a 14-year-old. Just say a 12. No, I said an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old. Just say an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old. Juice tried to rob them. They was on their way to the can ladies. Juice trying to get high off the late night, try to rob them. I swear to God. They beat the Juice. A 12-year-old and an 8-year-old. Juice was so high. They said, Juice said, man, get that up. And Ja went to sleep in the middle. Man said the 8-year-old hit him with a fing. Like beat him up all that. Took his deuce 5. Took his joint all that. Knocked on the tribe and say, we found, like the little boy was like, oh, we found a gun. Your friend down there. He tried to rob us. It was a little boy and we look. So Juice high, it go away, like his high go down. So now we talking to him. So now the next day come around, we see Juice walking to him. He's like, nah, for real, I try to rob them youngest, man. Them youngest beat the out me, man. Matter of fact, where my gun at? Like, can I get that back? Like, I don't even know, big boy. But long story short, man, they done beat my man up. My man so high, he like, yeah, hey man, this is out of this world, bro. I cannot make this up. I say, bro, you just let Lil Cuz beat you up. I'm talking about they couldn't even go tell nobody they beat them up. They were so young they couldn't even celebrate a victory. Like they just beat up an OT in the hallway. Like they just feel like they just beat a dude that was getting high. Like, bro, you losing it. That's when I felt like he was losing it. He felt like he was losing it. He told me something like, yeah, bro, I might have lost my superpowers. But long live my boy, he the realest, bro. I'm telling you, they don't make people like Juice. He got a good heart. I'm telling you. I be thinking about him every day. Then when I think about him, I be thinking about his mother, Miss Tanya. Strong woman, bro. Shout out to Juice. That's my boy. We do it all. Part 2, I'm going to tell y'all how we got turned up. I swear to God, that was the watered down version. We got stories on stories on stories. Man, my boys have been in high speed chases and everything. I'm going to give y'all part 2. I got y'all.